So I was thinking the other day about how sick the original Predator movie was, and that got me further thinking into how stinky all the follow-ups are. And with such an incredible creature design and premise, how is it possible that they keep fumbling this franchise so badly? And honestly, it feels like the Predator franchise is stuck. The original film was a classic, but every sequel seems to misunderstand what made the first one great in the first place. And I have an idea that'll bring these guys from apex predators to paycheck predators. It'll make money at the box office. So what are predators? Well, they're extraterrestrial hunters known to hunt other species for sport, usually targeting the most dangerous prey they can with the purpose of proving their strength and skill. I know there's a huge amount of extended universe stuff for the Yautja, which is the real name of the alien race for the predator, and in these they go way deeper into the lore and hierarchy of the species, but I guess that leads me to my first necessity for the series, and that's this needs to be a legacy sequel. You know, like they did with the dog shit Halloween films, where only the occurrence of the first films are canon. This approach would give the filmmakers the freedom to develop a new Predator lore for a new generation of people. And let's be real, no average moviegoer is gonna go read a fucking decade worth of comics before going to see the movie. And let's loop back to the original. If you're somehow uninitiated, The Predator is a 1987 sci-fi action horror film where a ruthless, stealthy monster, the Predator, stalks and hunts a military team led by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the jungles of Central America.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
Ultimately, the creature is killed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in a series of Home Alone-esque booby traps, and it's awesome. But ultimately, I don't think it can be recreated in the same way today, and here's why. There's a certain unreplicatable magic to films of the 80s and 90s that just doesn't translate the same way today. In those days, it was the norm to have insert action hero kill 800 bad guys and walk away with just a shot in the shoulder that somehow doesn't even limit his range of motion when he's shooting a machine gun mid-somersault. But nowadays, even when we have action films that do well, like John Wick, there has to be a certain level of realism applied that makes us accept the ridiculousness. For example, bulletproof suits, hotel rules that protect him from assassins, and just extremely careful choreography to ensure he isn't leaving a bunch of openings to be murdered, at least at first glance. Well, I think the original films relied on a certain level of suspension of belief that a modern audience just won't buy into any longer, and I think it's a stretch to imagine a creature so strong, technologically advanced, and rigorously trained to even be a fair fight for humans, let alone in the past without even modern weaponry. Prey. I mean, that film was okay, but the suspension of disbelief required to watch that film is unreal. Modern humans, with all our technology, would still struggle against predators, so watching our ancestors succeed feels even more implausible. And Arnold ain't what he used to be. I don't think he can realistically save the human race again. I think there's a few things that they could change to make the Predator series work better as a franchise. So let's get into the pitch. First of all, Predator protagonist. This one feels like a no-brainer, and from the limited information I've seen from the upcoming Predator Badlands, it sounds like Dan Trachtenberg is thinking the same. I think having a Predator protagonist is essential in expanding this universe, and we as sci-fi fans want to understand the mindset of these killers. I want to see the tactics in which they hunt their prey, and overall I want to understand the species a lot more. So me and Dan see eye to eye on who should be the main character of these stories, but I think on these next few points me and old Dan might have some differences. Can you speak alien? Because I fucking can't. I don't think we should be able to understand what the hell these guys are fucking saying. No subtitles. Now don't get me wrong, predators communicate in the film, sure, but we don't need subtitles to follow their story. Think Seven Samurai. Actions speak louder than words, and visual storytelling can be far more compelling than clunky exposition. The dialogue exists because the aliens communicate, but we understand what's happening because of the actions of the characters themselves. We know what a predator does, it hunts. We don't need to read a bunch of lame dialogue about how the Predator King is sending X predator to go kill X thing. We already know that. Hunting as a concept is simple. We've all seen nature documentaries about lions hunting gazelles, and we don't need the relaxing Australian narrator to tell us what's happening. I think by spending more time creating a character that is expressive and interesting without the reliance of exposition dumped dialogue, you have a much higher chance of creating a film that stands the test of time. So what's next? Well, remember when I said a human fighting a giant fucking apex predator monster with massive crazy guns is fucking unbelievable? Fuck humans. In my version of Predator, the Predator would be sent by his leaders to a new planet to hunt. Stop being lazy, stop sending the fucking dude to Earth. There are endless galaxies of other creatures that these aliens can hunt. Many of them likely make for a much more even fight with these alien death machines. And not only does this lend itself to the believability of the plot, but it also makes for a much more visually interesting film. We get to create an entirely new race of aliens, a new planet, new creature designs, and a new culture to explore. And we, as the audience, get to prey on their downfall. Think about how absurdly popular the Avatar franchise is. And why is that? It's because we as humans love to be taken out of the boring real world we live in and be transported somewhere unimaginable to us. A new planet with its own unique ecosystem, culture, and creatures could visually redefine the franchise, similar to how Pandora made Avatar so captivating. This not only does something completely unseen and unexpected for the franchise, but it sets up an unlimited number of sequels to new and unexplored planets, which broadens and strengthens the Predator universe. So there it is, my ideal Predator film. A film that abandons the tired tropes and redefines what this franchise can be. These films need to stop repeating the past. It needs bold storytelling, new worlds, and a fresh perspective. But yeah, that's how I'd revive the Predator franchise. If you have a franchise you'd like me to try and revive next, let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed, shoot me a sub. Later, nerds.
Slime.